watching Press Box, presented by Roper Kia, Bob's Appliance Center, Missouri Southern State University, and Girard Medical Center.
CW and on the KOAM Plus app. I'm Sports Director Ryan Blank, live in the studio alongside Ben McLeish. And Ben, these matchups tonight across the four states did not disappoint. Missouri and Oklahoma playing week 6 of their regular seasons, but Kansas only in week 5.
Yeah, that's right. We had the battle for the Silver Tigers between Nevada and Lamar, another chapter in the Joplin and Carthage rivalry, along with Pittsburgh playing Paola, just to name a few. You
said those are some of those great matchups that we have in store on tonight's show, but let's just start with the one that you just mentioned, Joplin returning to Jung Stadium to clash with Carthage in our KOAM Game of the Week. The Tigers have won 4 of the last 5 matchups against Joplin, including last year's double overtime victory. Tigers starting on offense, first play of the game, Zane Browning, he'll take it himself through the heart of the Eagle defense and down to the 45-yard line. Great start for Carthage. They'd ride that momentum all the way down to the goal line, looking to score, looking to punch it in. Browning in the shotgun on this play. He runs it up the gun into the end zone for the first points of the game. Carthage leads 7-0. Daniel Rose back in at quarterback for Joplin in this one, facing a third down and long on the Eagles' opening drive. He finds Trenton McCadney on the slant for the first down, but the Eagles' drive would stall. Tigers have possession at the start of the second quarter. Browning now looking to do it with his arm, looking to launch deep, and he's got a wide open man, Jack Carlton, who takes it down to the 10-yard line. Carthage looking to make this a 2-score game. Tigers run the Wildcat, but the ball is loose. Joplin recovers the fumble. Eagles keep this game close, but the Tigers come out on top, 28-21 the final.
Red City, winners of 3 in a row, back at Cardinal Stadium to take on Republic. Webb leads by 7 at half. On the kickoff, Fen Rice forces a fumble, but Republic dives on it and remains on offense. The Tigers take it all the way down to the goal line. It's a quarterback keeper for Preston McCracken. He takes it into the end zone. Republic would miss the extra point, so the Cardinals lead by 1. On Webb City's next drive, Braden Strickland's in trouble, but he pitches it to Mason Williams, who carves his way through the Tiger defense, juking, spinning, and stiff-arming defenders, making his way into Republic territory. Cardinals in the red zone. Strickland pitches it again to who else? Mason Williams, taking it down to the pylon, and wait for it, it's a touchdown as Webb City takes the 8-point lead. But the Tigers come back in this one, scoring 14 unanswered and taking down the Cardinals 27-21.
It's the latest edition of the battle for the Silver Tiger between Nevada and Lamar. Both teams coming out fired up for this Big 8 conference rivalry. Stands packed on both sides. Nevada with the ball, quarterback Kellen Braden scrambles in the backfield, trying to pass. Lamar's Terran Williams darts in and sacks him to force a punt. Now it's Lamar's turn on 4th down. Nevada defense steps up. Running back Jaden Moore brought down for a loss and a turnover on downs. Later in the first half, Lamar quarterback Clayton Powell drops back to pass, but Mason Majors picks off the pass near the goal line, and he will take it deep into Lamar territory, setting up the Nevada offense deep in enemy territory, looking for the first score and the lead. On the next play, first play from scrimmage offensively on this drive, Will Jackson takes a handoff, cuts his way through the Lamar defense to eventually score the game's first points on this house call. Lamar was on the march again late in the second quarter. Moore breaking away on the left side, one of the largest offensive gains of the half, trying to set up his team to tie it up before the break. Then on 4th down, less than 10 seconds to go in the first half, Powell's pass incomplete to the end zone intended for Dominic Gordon. The Nevada defense holds Lamar again for the 3rd time in the half as Nevada takes down their rival for the 2nd straight year, keeping the Silver Tiger with a 27-7 win. Only 3 games from the Show Me State tonight, but some big-time matchups with rivalries renewed. Playoff hopefuls looking to get some big-time wins as well, but it's only a taste of what we have coming up. When we return on Press Box, we'll have you covered on the action from Kansas this week.
But first, a look at some scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Press Box. Missouri had some high-profile battles this week, but let's transition to Week 5 of football in Kansas with teams like Labette County, Frontenac, and Baxter Springs in action. But we start with the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons back at Hutch Field for the second straight week playing the Paola Panthers. Purple Dragons coming off a win over Fort Scott last week, looking for their third win in 4 years over the Panthers. First quarter, 4th and goal for Paola. Mason Stein rolling to his right, innovating pressure. He'll heave it towards the end zone. Shasha Pinchnenko makes the leaping touchdown grab. Panthers strike first. Ensuing kickoff, Landon Profit hauls in the short kick. He's got room to run, stiff-arming a defender before being brought down inside Paola territory. Dragons trying to take advantage of the field position. 4th down. Jamarcus Davis can't hold on to the snap. Rylan Grandin recovers a fumble for the Panthers. Paola back in the red zone. Stein, he's going to give it to his running back, Bodie Shea, who barrels his way into the end zone, saying Paola's lead to 12-0. Later in the half, another goal-to-go situation for the Panthers. Stein with the quick hitter to Shea, and he'll get to the sideline, tight-roping and diving for his second score of the game. Still in the first half, 3rd down for Paola. Stein's facing pressure again. He'll look downfield, throwing it downfield, but Cortland Jones is there, swats it away to force the punt, but the Panthers pick up the road win, 33-21 the final.
Labette County and Fort Scott clashing at Lucas Field as both teams eye bounce-back wins. Start things off, Labette's Aaron Wyrick throws a pass to Barrett Heston, who makes a dangerously close catch right in front of Fort Scott's Shea Kennedy, almost turning it into an interception. Pressure builds on Wyrick as he faces a strong rush and is sacked by the Fort Scott defense, halting Labette's drive. Trying to recover, Wyrick launches a deep ball downfield, but it's caught midair by Fort Scott's Shea Kennedy. Makes a crucial interception to swing the momentum. Taking control, Fort Scott's Caden Cannon delivers a precise pass to Creed Clayton, who rushes the ball to within 1 yard of the goal line, setting up a touchdown that Fort Scott would score right after. Now this next play may feel like deja vu as Wyrick throws another pass to have Shea Kennedy again intercept the ball, picking up significant yards on the return. Later in the match, running back Deontay Fields powerfully charges through the Tigers defense and dashes all the way to the end zone, scoring one of many touchdowns for the Grizzlies tonight. Labette County would go on to dominate the field, finishing 28-7.
Frontenac winners in 2 straight games back at Raider Stadium to battle Parsons. From kickoff, Frontenac and Parsons are on each other defensively. Raiders' Caden Mirando makes the catch. He's got a strong run before being brought down by Vikings' Eric Keaton. Frontenac's Luke Sneed, he's going to take the handoff on this play from scrimmage, trying to push through. He'll get a first down, getting about 10-11 yards, and it takes a pile of Vikings to get him down. A Parsons fumble gets them in rocky territory. Andre Ford hopes to find Wyatt Schultz, but it falls incomplete. Strong catch by Raiders' Caden Mirando coming up on the punt, but the Vikings are right on him. Great special teams play here from Caden Forbes, taking him to the ground. Raiders hope to gain some ground. A pass from Brogan Smith. He's looking for Mirando. He's got him, and he's got a first down, but Jakari Green takes him down before he can get anywhere near the end zone. Raiders are so close they can taste the end zone. Brogan Smith, he's going to roll out, looking to throw. He's going to try to find his man Mirando again, but it's incomplete, broken up. Strong defensive plays from both teams keep this scoreless after the first quarter. Frontenac takes a homecoming win 28-14.
Baxter Springs looking to shake off back-to-back losses, hosting Columbus. We picked this one up towards the end of the first half. Columbus up 7. No, this isn't a baseball score. Cole Parrish dropping back and finding Caleb Grant for a nice gain. Next play, Parrish would keep it for himself, finally getting ran out of bounds near the 23-yard line. A few plays later, Baxter driving near the Columbus end zone. Parrish again dropping back, passing it wide to Caleb Grant. He would have no problem finding the end zone. Lions going for 2. Cole Parrish looking toward the end zone, but the pass would go wide, 8-7 Baxter. Bradley Wade with the carry, but he would cough it up. Columbus recovering in good field position. Titans trying to score before halftime. Cole Howard here rolling to his left, finally getting pulled out of bounds, but it would be called back to a holding penalty. 8-7 Baxter at the half. Columbus would hold on to pull off the W. 15-14 Titans on the road.
Riverton coming off their first win of the season on the road against Galena, who's on a 3-game win streak. Galena inside the 10-yard line. Chase Control rolling to his right, looking for Sway Dixon, but the pass is picked off in the end zone by Riley Greer. Riverton's ensuing drive, Aiden Witherspoon keeps it for himself, looking to the outside, finally being pulled out of bounds, but the Rams would end up punting it away. Riverton's next drive, it's Witherspoon again. He's going to hand it off to his man, Noah Parker, finding room here. Finally brought down inside the Galena Bulldog 15-yard line. A few plays later, Tyler Wrights quickly flicks it to Aiden Witherspoon, and he cuts back upfield, finding a hole to the defense, and he will find the end zone, no problem. 7-zip Rams at that point. Riverton shutting out the Bulldogs on the road, 24-0 the final.
The Lancers of Southeast taking on Erie at home for homecoming. Southeast is up 21-0 at half. Erie hoping to gain some ground with Parker Hughes pushing through, but the Lancers taking it easy on him. Kane Windsor grabs hold and won't let go. But Erie's not giving up. Red Devil Tanner Straith makes it into the end zone after a hard fight, officially getting the team on the board 21-6. Southeast is not backing down. Windsor Powers gaining some ground before he's taken to the ground by Carson Grady. Lancers use that momentum. The number Colton Lawrence gets the ball and makes a run for the end zone. He slips just out of reach of Erie's Tanner Straith and strengthens Southeast's lead. Nice run from Colton Lawrence. Erie's Kyle Yackel trying to get a tackle even from the ground, but it puts the Lancers in great position and they don't waste it. Number Kane Windsor gets it to the end zone, earning Southeast a 29-point lead. They keep up the momentum. Southeast takes down Erie 43-26 for a homecoming win.
That's the highlights from the Gridiron in the Sunflower State, but we aren't done quite yet. There's still one more state to cover, and that's Oklahoma, with Miami and Quapaw hosting their homecoming matchups. So stay tuned for those coming up after this, but first, look at some scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Press Box. We've showcased some rivalry matchups and big games across Kansas and Missouri from this week, but we never forget about the Sooner State, starting with the Miami War Dogs welcoming Wagoner to Red Robertson Field in the homecoming matchup. The War Dogs looking to bounce back after falling on the road a week ago. First possession of the game, and Miami is faced with third down, but junior quarterback Blaze Riley takes matters into his own hands for a big 15-yard run for a first down. A couple of plays later, Blaze Riley finds senior tight end Trent Lawson for a 20-yard pass play that sets up the War Dogs in the red zone. Then Miami takes it all the way down to the 4-yard line, where on third down, quarterback Blaze Riley does it again with his legs for an easy touchdown as the War Dogs take the 7-0 lead. Senior running back Stevie Brown of Wagoner says not so fast as he breaks through the line and outruns every War Dog to the end zone. As Wagoner ties it up 7-7 in the first quarter, Wagoner spoils Miami's homecoming 48-14.
Quapaw also hosting their homecoming game, taking on Nowata. We pick it up early in the second quarter. We're in Nowata on fourth down. The punt, but it's a bad snap. Junior Adrian Odell puts on his hero cape as he completes a pass to fellow junior Isaiah Saxton, who picks up the first down. After a couple penalties on Quapaw, first and goal, and it's Odell at quarterback taking it from 4 yards out to put Nowata up 14-12. Quapaw gets the ball back. They're going to go their running back, Thomas Matthews. He'll take that handoff, and no one is stopping him from getting the first down as he breaks multiple tackles, and he's pumped up after the big run. After a penalty on Nowata, Quapaw senior quarterback Jace Gregory, he's going to look to throw. He's got a wide open Dakota Evans for an easy 22-yard touchdown pass. Puts Quapaw back up 18-14 in the second quarter. Next Nowata possession, Odell drops back, but there was some miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver. Aiden Bruden, the senior, right in the right place at the right time for the interception. Quapaw would score on the very next play to go up 24-14 as the Wildcats win on homecoming, 42-22.
Well, that is our full slate of games for this week's Press Box. 11 games showcased from this week of football. But as always, we still have more ahead with our weekly recap of the week, plus a look ahead to the weekend and next week, so stay tuned for more Press Box. But first, a look at some scores from around the region.
Welcome back to Press Box. We've run through 11 games from this week action on the gridiron, but before we get out of the studio, let's recap some of the best moments and performances from Friday Night Lights. Take a sneak peek to what's coming up. Ben, get us started with our takeaways. What's one takeaway for you tonight?
Well, Carthage's Zane Browning continues to lead a dangerous Tigers offense. And after scoring 4 touchdowns on the ground last week, he did it again with his legs tonight, finding pay dirt again on the ground.
The Riverton Rams are my takeaway. They're finding their rhythm, defeating the Galena Bulldogs on the road, their second straight win. That's a statement victory for this team. The Bulldogs were cruising with 3 straight wins entering tonight, back-to-back weeks with a dub over competitive teams for the Rams.
The Nevada Tigers are back-to-back winners of the Silver Tiger rivalry with an impressive 27-7 win over Lamar. The defense continues to elevate this team with multiple takeaways in the red zone, and the offense too has a lethal core to pair with it.
Now it's time for the performance of the week. Let us know who you think had the best performance of the night by heading to KOAMnews.com/vote. Your first option is the team Ben just talked about, the Nevada Tigers, downing their rival Lamar for the second straight year in the rivalry of the battle for the Silver Tiger.
Your second nominee is Zane Browning, who continues to be a nightmare for opposing defenses with both his arm and his legs, leading Carthage to a big win over Joplin.
Our last nominee is the Riverton Rams, shown up in back-to-back weeks with wins defeating Galena on the road, snapping a winning streak for Galena. This Riverton team, they're starting to put it together.
Looking ahead to next week under the lights, starting with Neosho hosting Joplin. The Eagles have won each of the last 7 matchups between the two teams, but Neosho is off to a 5-1 start for the second consecutive year.
Sticking in Missouri, Ben, Carthage returning to David Hafner Stadium to face Republic. The Tigers coming off a big win over Joplin tonight, while Republic is beating Joplin and Webb City in consecutive weeks. 2 of the top offenses in the Show Me State will clash in what could be a shootout. I'm excited for that one.
Moving over to Kansas, after back-to-back road games, the Fort Scott Tigers are back at home to take on Chanute. The Blue Comets have won 4 of the last 5 matchups against the Tigers.
But before more high school action takes center stage, let's highlight what's coming up this weekend. The Pitt State Gorillas have won 3 games in a row after defeating Emporia State last week. The Gorillas ran for over 380 yards in the win as Cleo Chandler Jr. and Zamari Pelote Gary led the way. On Saturday, though, Pitt State will battle Nebraska Kearney in the MIAA Game of the Week. And the ground game will be crucial on both sides of the ball. The Lopes lead the MIAA in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns while holding their opponents to under 3.5 yards per carry. Gorillas looking for a 4th straight win on Student Appreciation Day. Kickoff at 2 p.m. from the Jungle at Kearney Smith Stadium.
Missouri Southern Lions have dropped both of their conference games so far this season after falling to Central Missouri last week. And it doesn't get any easier for the Lions this week as they host 21st ranked Fort Hays State. The key for MSSU on Saturday is to limit mistakes, especially turnovers after surrendering 5 takeaways against the Mules. Defensively for the Lions, it's all about starting fast. In the last 3 games, Missouri Southern has allowed 10 total first quarter points. So having a strong start to set the tone will be huge. Lions look to snap their 2-game skid when they take the field at Fred G. Hughes Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. from Joplin.
Kansas City Chiefs are coming off their best performance of the year, dominating the Baltimore Ravens. 37-20, Patrick Mahomes is the reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week after throwing for 4 touchdowns, all to different receivers. Xavier Worthy's return opened up the offense as he finished with 121 total yards, leading the team in rushing and receiving. The defense gave Lamar Jackson some nightmares, forcing 2 turnovers from the former MVP. This week, Kansas City can get above 500 as they take on the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. Key for KC will to not turn over the ball and take care of the football. Jaguars defense has forced 9 takeaways so far this year. You can watch that game on ESPN Monday at 7:15. That'll do it for Week 5 of Press Box. We're starting to reach the back end of the season with teams now shifting their focus to a playoff push. And Ben, really quick, got 2 questions for you. What's your favorite game of the night? And is there a team that you think is postseason ready?
Well, Nevada looked incredible today, limiting Lamar to just 7 points, getting the Silver Tiger rivalry for the 2nd year in a row. But I was at the Carthage game, and that offense looks unstoppable. I think they're ready for the playoffs.
You just took my 2 teams. I'm still high on Webb City, though. Tough loss against a really good Republic team, but I think that team is also ready for the postseason. They can make another run like they did last year. Thank you for watching Press Box. We will see you next week live here, same place, same time at 10:30.